question, at this time when you are filming this, like day 4, or let's say this is Friday has passed, you haven't been given Tuesday has passed, you haven't been given the chums. Friday has come, you've been told no chums. All these dramas that happen. What's your emotional state?
Panic, because now I'm starting to run out of chums because there's expenses for every day. Let me give you
now
perspective.
What about that needs to be paid in cash as soon? Yeah.
Let me give you perspective. We have minimum 60 people on set every day. These people have to be picked and dropped from home every single day. So on set, we had, I think, 4 or 5 vans. So those are vans, drivers, fuel.
Hired.
The small cars that we had hired. There's of course expenses on the set. There's food that has to be bought. There's water that has to be bought. There's every day we had an ambulance on set.
By the law.
Well, so because you're in the forest, you have to have toilets.
Yeah. Wow.
So money is being spent.
So much money burning a day.
I think on just the basic expenses without counting now like hire of this and this and this, anywhere between 80 to 150k a day. Because you have to keep on buying supplies, paying for this here and there, or you need
we're not
to
even talked about salos or anything. This is just to make the shoot happen.
Yes. You haven't talked about, if you're talking about salos, maybe you're talking about someone who appeared in a small scene, so you're giving them 5k, 10k, and they're gone. You know, just small money, amounts of money. But let me tell you.
So now your chums are beginning to start running out.
My chums are beginning to start running out. Then, we sat with Lucas and my wife, Betty, and we are like, Aki, what do we do? Now, to keep us going, God sends an angel in the form of a man called Anthony Masharia. So this man called Anthony Masharia is a friend to Lucas. And then I later learned that kumbe I was in high school with him, but I didn't know. Like, we didn't really know each other at that point. So Lucas had told him about this movie. Then I think at some point Lucas just talked to him and told him, hey, we are doing it now, you know. So Lucas tells me, he gives me that backstory. Then he tells me, this guy Anthony would like to see you. So at that point, I'm like, okay, I still have the hope of the other 4M and 2M that I've been told. But let me just go and see this guy and hear what he has to say. Because Lucas told me he wants to help us. So I go see him. I have a pitch deck. I present to him. I even show him some photos from my phone of how we've started shooting. So I'm waiting for him to tell me, I'll think about it. So me, I want to finish with him
so you can go to
so that I can go and now look for chums. The guy tells me, give me your account details, I'll send you a name tomorrow. Let me tell you, that's the point you start looking around to wondering who is cutting onions. Because
but even over here I'm feeling it. That's crazy.
Then even when he told me that, I was like, remember I'm coming from, I'll give you 5M, then it's not available. So I'm still not believing. The guy tells me, just give me your account details. So he asks me if I have some documentation to sign, like for investors, Nini. Luckily, I'd prepared those. So I give him. So I'm waiting for him to tell me he'll go through them, Nini. So he just told me, okay, tell me about them. So I told him. And luckily, I'd done, I think it was like 3 or 4 pages. So he skimmed through. So me, I'm trying to contain my excitement and now hoping that nothing that he sees in the document will make him change his mind. Then I see him grabbing a pen and he signs and he writes 1 million. But me, I'm still, cautiously optimistic.
Because you're like, until I see Kondani account, nothing has come.
So see me, the next day I go. So for me, it was a hassle of, see now my money has katikad kabisa. So now it's about these daily expenses. How do I meet these daily expenses?
And that's stress.
It's stress. So what do I start doing? I start borrowing money from people. But luckily, while I'm trying to borrow money from some people are also asking me like, so how is the Nini going? So I tell them Nini. So I even had some friends. I invited some friends to the set. Like Nameless came to the set one night. I showed him everything. So Nameless just told me, hey, Pole, there's a project that I'm doing that is taking up my chums, but here is 30 Gs. Nameless gave me 30 Gs. Like, not lending me, like gave me 30 Gs. I don't think he even remembers.
Which is gold at that time.
But let me tell you, do you know what that does to you? It just gives you energy to keep going. There's a friend I have, an angel. Yani, I can't even say her name publicly, so I call her Moira. But a few people know who she is. Moira, when I told her about this dream of mine of doing this movie, she believed, and I realized that it was a number of people who were in the same space. Like, I'm not sure you can do this, but I'm going to support you to try. You know, you don't realize it, but that's a big thing. Like, someone is willing to give you money to try out something.
Whether or not you fail.
Yeah. So, one day she called me. One of those days, actually, funny enough, it was the day after now I'd signed with Anthony. Then he told me he'll send me the money the next day. Moira calls me and asks me, how is it going? I tell her, wait, I'm stressed. So she asks me what you've asked me, like, how much is it costing per day? So I told her somewhere between 80 and 150 a day. Let me tell you, Moira lives in Karen. Nikikwambia hivyo, I think you know who it is. I know who it is,
I do.
On her way home, she brought me 100 Gs. I even told her, the set is pale. See, we go, I show you. You know those ones of, I'm trying to show you this money you're giving me. Send it to me vibaya. She's like, Fakii, it's okay. You just go. Like, I was inviting her to the set just to see, just look at what we, Bila. She's like, it's okay, Fakii, just do your thing. I think she even told me she has a meeting or something. So that's how I was surviving. I have a friend called Shodha. His name is even on the credits as co-executive producer. I have a friend called Kensara. Those guys gave me chums. I think Kensara gave me like 350 or 400K.
What?
Shodha, I think, gave me about 2 something.
Give?
Yeah. Like, for them, that one was, here, the day you'll be able to pay, sawa. So they just gave me chums like that. Then now, that day after Moira brought me the 100K, as I'm driving back to the set,
ting ting, the meter clears.
The guy calls me and tells me, I'm having a problem with your account. I can't seem to send the money. So we went through the account details I'd given him. Then we realized that there's a number that he had missed. Luckily, he was in the same bank as me. So then he told me, because I know a meter might be an issue, I'm sending you 5 sock today, I'll send you 5 sock tomorrow. Do you know, I turned the car around, drove to Junction. So there's an NCBA there. I sat in the parking lot waiting to get the SMS. Let me tell you, that SMS I ingeared the bank and withdrew it. All of it.
Because you needed it. I
needed it. Like, there were things that were going to be stuck for the next day.
There are in fact, that's a good thing. Let's talk about this. There's times where delayed the fact that you don't, I mean, first of all, there's pressure, and when you're not paying guys, it changes their mood. Because I won't say, come on, lipi, bila ido, especially production. If you're not paying me for this thing today, it can become stressous. Maybe they want to pick up your guys, and that affects that person is in a scene or something. So that cash you needed.
And let me tell you, the point when now these guys started giving me money, giving me support, encouraging me, because I had some of these guys I'm talking about, because like that night, Anthony came to the set. He came to the set, we walked around, like we showed him everything. You know, at that point, you know when you're showing an investor how you're using his money. So yani you're showing him everything. You're showing him everything, you know. Like, so I had friends who would come to the set to just check it out, Nini. So what these guys did and they didn't realize between Moira, my pal Ken, my pal Shodha, and Anthony, is they gave us the motisha to go on.
The fuel.
And there's something that hit me, and it was a scary thing to tell my wife and Lucas. I told them, where we've figured, I don't know how we are going to finance some of those last days. But guys, imagine, even if we borrow, we have to do it, because this is how I was picturing it. If we stop the production now, we will have no product, but we'll still be in debt, because there are people here, even if you stop day 10 of day 20, you still have to pay for the 20 days. And that was most of the people. So for me, I was like, I'd rather be in debt and have a product than I be in debt and I don't have a product. So I was like, I am going to borrow and borrow and borrow until I can.
Wow.
At that point, one of the businesses that I was trying to do with Alovi, my pal, was we had we were operating like a talent agency, and we had booked some people for jobs. So the money used to come through us. So there's one of our clients, when their money came through, and I called them and begged, please, let me use your money. Please, I swear I'll pay you.
You called them?
Yeah.
To tell them your chums has come? Can I use your chums?
Yeah.
What did they say?
She said, Sawa.
Wow.
And you know, she never pressured me for her money, which I paid her almost 2 years later.
Wow.
You know who this is?
No.
Amina Rabah.
I mean, it's good peeps though, but still, that's insane.
Never pressured me. Paka, there's a day when I met her, she's the one who told me, Fakii, don't be afraid of talking to me. You know, like she's like, I know you'll pay me. You know.
Guy.
Almost 2 years later. Anyway,
so how much are you burning a day? Why is a meter going like that? Why is a meter going so fast?
Because at that point then, there are some things that maybe you've hired and you've promised the guys that you'll pay them later.
Oh,
so now
I get
that
it.
later has figured. But remember, for me, when I was hiring those things, some things I was hiring on Monday, knowing Tuesday, niko na 5 meter in cash. So now lipa Wednesday.
So what about the 4 meter and the 2 meter?
See, I'm still chasing those ones.
Did they ever come through?
Ones. I'll tell you about those ones.
You can in your movie. In the movie. Forget that. This is the movie.
Yeah. Now.
In fact, this is the behind the scenes for this thing. What?
The day before, that week before we shot, I think it was that same Thursday, now before the Friday, for this guy promising me the money. There was a bit of miscommunication, so I got the impression that part of the things that we'll get from film studios was a camera. And the story was, it was being imported, so it would have landed by then. But it wasn't the case.
Oh.
So it's Thursday, we don't have a camera. My DOP, Enos, and the first assistant camera, Ben Kiilu, need to know what are we using so that they plan lenses because of day and night shoots, what we'll need, the rigs, you know, the rig.
Yeah.
You know, hatuna camera.